Hello, I'm Will Lehman, candidate for UAW president. I want to bring to your attention major strikes and protests by workers in France and the United Kingdom over the past week. The corporate-controlled media has blacked out news of these struggles. The American ruling class fears that workers in the U.S. will be inspired by the mass movement of the working class that is spreading across Europe. On Tuesday, over 2 million workers in France carried out a third nationwide strike against President Macron's proposed pension cuts. Over 500,000 marched in Paris and fought back against tear gas and baton charges by riot police. 72% of the population opposes plans to raise the retirement age and reduce benefits. But Macron, known as President of the Rich, is determined to cut pensions to funnel $450 billion to military spending and shipments of tanks to Ukraine for war with Russia. On Monday and Tuesday, hundreds of thousands of nurses in the United Kingdom took part in the largest strike in the 75-year history of the National Health Service. They joined millions of rail workers, educators, and other workers who have struck during what has become known as the Winter of Discontent. Workers are fighting back against 10% inflation and plans to privatize and gut public services. Even though the union bureaucracy and the pro-business Labour Party are desperately trying to shut down this movement, there is growing momentum for a general strike against the Conservative Party government. Strikes are also spreading across Germany, Spain, Belgium, Denmark, and other European countries as workers resist demands that they pay for the capitalist economic crisis and the war against Russia. Workers in the U.S. face the same fight. In Biden's State of the Union address on Tuesday, he claimed economic conditions for workers were vastly improving. This is a lie. Workers continue to suffer a cut in real wages as inflation remains at 6.5% and families are unable to pay impossibly high food, fuel, housing, and medical costs. At the same time, the Federal Reserve is raising interest rates in a deliberate effort to increase unemployment and beat back the demand of workers for above-inflation raises. This year, workers at Caterpillar, the big three automakers, Mack Trucks, and other corporations will face major battles to protect our livelihoods against the cost of living crisis, the destruction of jobs, exploitation, and unsafe conditions in the factories. GM reported $10 billion in profits last year, and along with Ford and Stellantis, is calling on workers in every country to tighten our belts and accept even less this year. Meanwhile, the UAW bureaucracy is conducting a bogus runoff election between Ray Curry and Shawn Fain after a first round of voting that effectively excluded 90% of the membership. Workers should reject these two longtime bureaucrats and demand that all candidates from the first round be included. I am running for UAW president to abolish the corrupt union apparatus and transfer decision-making power to workers on the shop floor. We must fight for what workers and our families need, not what the corporations, big business, politicians, and union executives say is affordable. To fight global companies, we need to unite with our brothers and sisters in Europe, in Mexico, Canada, and Latin America, and in China and Asia to oppose the wars abroad and the war against the working class at home. We must build the International Workers' Alliance of rank-and-file committees to coordinate this global fight. Thank you.